Hello and welcome back to my channel, the place to be to discover how your thoughts and emotions are affecting your whole health. Hi, I'm Andrew Coulter. I'm a doctor of medical health science and homeopathy, and this week I'm going to talk about how we tend to stretch ourselves too far and create all kinds of illnesses and or just general exhaustion. I don't know about you, but I have been feeling like a bag of poo lately, to be quite honest. About 4 or 5 days ago, my energy just tanked. And I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. I'd been eating really well. I'd been getting really good sleep. Everything seemed good in my life. There was no unnecessary stress or chaos going on. But didn't matter what I did, I just felt really super tired. So I start breaking it down. So what I started doing is, okay, so what potentially could it be? Because I know it's not food, but it could be that, well, I took 3 weeks of holidays this summer and did pretty much absolutely nothing but relax and read a lot of fun books. So it could have been just, getting back into work and feeling overwhelmed with everything and just go, because that's something I have a tendency to do. Or I thought, it could be my perimenopausal symptoms. I am over 50 and I'm starting to have cycles where, I miss a period for 2 to 3 months and then, nope, it just decides to show back up. And I was wondering if maybe that was it. Or I thought, it could just be the hot, lazy days of August. Like, we'd had this buildup of heat and it was really hot here. And just to the point where I was actually getting tired of the heat. Being out in that super hot sun was getting kind of exhausting. So I thought, well, it could be any one of those. And so, it did take me a little bit of really evaluating and assessing. And I finally figured out what it was, which I'll share at the end. So struggling with your energy, and not just physical exhaustion, but mental and emotional exhaustion as well, can be really difficult to assess on your own and to make changes and get back on track. I know how difficult that can be. So like I said, I don't know about you, but I'm a really go person. So I'm super high energy. I like to do a bazillion and one things. I always joke that I'm the queen of multitasking. I've always been like that, but I've learned over the years that it's not always a good thing to be like that all the time. So there were certainly times in my life where I pushed myself too hard. I used to laugh because I'd say, okay, if I gotta walk somewhere, I'm gonna run because, I gotta get there faster. It's better than just walking. And I hate bathing because bathing is boring and slow. And if I could figure out a way to stay clean without even showering, that would be awesome. However, I do, and I have learned by having come down with multiple illnesses over the years that have forced me to slow down and crash. I've learned to reevaluate and assess, okay, how much do I want to push myself and how much do I not want to push myself? I used to have a practitioner friend who actually had this really good analogy. So she said it's like you take this elastic band, you pull and you stretch and you pull yourself to the absolute extreme, and then when you can't hold it any longer, it snaps back. And when it snaps back, you know what elastics look like after you've overstretched it and they're all sad and soggy and limp, and then they don't even work. That's exactly what your life force does when you try to push yourself way too far and you just don't take the time to take care of yourself. This time around, it actually wasn't me taking on too much, which was a first for me in a really long time. Instead, it was something to do with my hormonal system. And again, I will explain that at the very, very end. But to start with, do you find that you stretch yourself too far? Have you sometimes gotten to the point where you just feel exhausted, maybe on just a mental emotional level? Maybe you're just not creative, you have no thoughts. I feel like I'm in a fog. I don't really want to do anything or think anything or do anything over and above what I absolutely have to. Or are you physically done in? Have you really pushed yourself physically and exhausted yourself to the point that you just can't get up? No matter what level it is, having that kind of exhaustion is incredibly debilitating and does lead you to other illnesses. Did you know that pneumonia and influenzas often are deeply unconscious and unresolved layers of emotional grief or overwhelm? and that most coughs and colds, even simple acute illnesses, are us having run ourselves down, and your immune system is run down through, either just a lot of stress, mentally, emotionally, can actually run your immune system down, or just physically running yourself ragged and not replenishing, the nutrients and the vital nutrients in your body so that you get the nutrients you need to keep everything firing properly. And then your whole system shuts down and then just says, yeah, you're now going to get sick. But the interesting thing is, illness is a way for your body to talk back. It's like, hello, you need to take a break. You need to stop. You need to slow down. You need to take it easy and love yourself for a little bit. Stop stretching yourself too far and take a break. Every time I got pneumonia, weirdly enough, was always around Christmas, because I would be trying to do even more than I normally do on a day-to-day basis, because now I've got Christmas baking, and I've got food to make, and I've got a house to massively clean because I got people coming in, and all these crazy things that we pile on. It gets to be insane. And so I have to really, really plan my life out ahead of Christmas so that I don't get myself that far gone. Or maybe just hire a cleaning crew. Might be the way to go this year. So like I said, when I'm feeling really run down and I'm fatigued and I just unmotivated and I know that I need to make some changes, I take stock. What I've learned over the years as a practitioner is with helping my own clients, but it's also assessing my own life. And so what I do is I tend to stop and go over, like I said earlier on, well, could it be this? Could it be that? Maybe it's this. What potentially is causing it? And so I'm going to go through my tips and suggestions on the best way when you're feeling completely overdone and you have no idea where it's coming from. I'm going to give you some suggestions that you can maybe write down and keep on hand when it happens, because it's really hard when you're that exhausted, trust me, I know, to be self-objective. And if you can't, then absolutely reach out to myself and ask me, hey, what do you think? Because I absolutely will reach out to a practitioner friend sometimes and say, okay, I have no idea what's going on. Here's what's going on. You tell me. Because it's hard. I know it's hard. That's why we need help. So, without further ado, here are all the tips and suggestions that I go through myself personally and with my clients. And maybe some of these can help you if you're feeling like you've just done too much or just can't get focused and motivated and you don't really know why. So obviously the first place I start is cleaning up my diet. Definitely digestion plays a big part in how I feel on every level. Really it does. If my digestion is off, I feel miserable. So definitely when I'm not feeling well, I get rid of all the foods that cause chronic inflammation and congestion, which are the basics. So get rid of all processed carbohydrates, get rid of any wheat products, get rid of any over-processed dairy products, and get rid of really any sugar in my system. So I go very clean, ketogenic, or you don't have to put a label on it. I know people get all wound up about labels of nutritional profiles and stuff, and I don't like to necessarily label everything, so literally just clean up your diet, get rid of the sugar because it's chronically inflammatory, get rid of the excess carbohydrates that turn to sugar. You can eat vegetables, those are clean, healthy carbs, but get rid of everything else. And if you need a list, go to a keto list. You don't have to call it that. And then dairy. Dairy is very congestive. So if I'm feeling like I'm sort of starting to get sick, again, part of my exhaustion, I had a bit of a sore throat too, and I thought, I feel like I'm coming down with something, but it's like that, just that little edge of it. And when that happens, I definitely get rid of the dairy, because dairy is congestive. So if you can just eliminate those three main areas and start drinking some more lemon water and allowing your body to just rest and not overeat at your meals. So again, making your meals maybe smaller and simpler, and let your digestion rest and maybe see what happens in the next day or two. So that's number one. Number two is really assess what is absolutely essential that you do in your life right now and what is non-essential. Making sure that you're getting rid of all the things that you're overdoing or don't need to be doing so that you can slow down and rest and recover and let your body heal itself. For instance, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going away again. I need to get out and weed my vegetable gardens again. And there's the grass that needs to be cut. And, oh my gosh, I really need to clean my goats out again. And all these things that I think, I really need to do. But at the end of the day, do I really need to? My vegetables are mature. They're big plants. They don't actually need me to weed all the little tiny things around them. I'm a bit obsessive compulsive and I'm a perfectionist. So to me, if I could weed everything, I would, but no, I'm too tired. And you know what? It's not going to make a difference. My vegetables are growing just fine with the little weeds that are in there. So really stop and think about, do I really absolutely have to do that? Obviously, I have to make meals for the family. And to be quite honest, at this point in my life, I got young adult children in my house. So I could just say, you know what? And this is what I've done in the last couple of days, is I'm not making dinner. There's lots of food in the cupboards. I've already snacked on my simple foods, my broths and my teas, that are making me feel better about myself and letting me rest and heal my digestion. I don't know what you guys want to eat, but go to it and have at it. So you could do that as well. Now, again, if you're a young mom and you've got little kids and you have to make their food, make their food. But again, keep it simple. Don't get crazy and again, if the bathroom is dirty, maybe show your little kids how to pick up their toys or how to wipe something down. They love to help. Truly, the younger you can teach your kids to be self-sufficient, the better. Anyway, number 2 is get rid of all the non-essential activities or things that you don't really need to do so you can take some time to rest. Number 3 is definitely start adding in some really high quality nutraceuticals, nutrients that your body absolutely needs to help boost itself back up. So even though I'm eating super clean, it doesn't mean that I'm getting extra vital nutrients into my body. We know we don't make B vitamins, we know we don't make D, and we have a hard time with iron levels. And so getting into actually what my exhaustion was this time is because I'm perimenopausal, my cycle decided to show back up again after almost 3 months, and that's what was weighing me down, literally. My uterus was guys, close your ears. My uterus was filling up, in preps of, we might have a baby here, let's put some blood in the uterus. So of course my body's pumping extra blood into that area. And I knew over the years that I would feel a little tireder right before my cycle because of that. It's the flood of blood to the uterus that depletes it in other areas. And I was always low iron for a lot of years. Again, another story for another day why I was low iron. But I was low iron. So that was what was causing this one. Because as soon as my cycle started 2 days ago, I was like, oh, that's why I'm tired. So I started upping my B vitamins. I upped my iron. I just started getting more just greens in general into my diet so that it gave me lots of good orgone healthy energy, and that started to already pick up my energy and make me feel better. So getting really good supplements. So with exhaustion, the necessary supplements are definitely B vitamins. D's for sure, but I kind of superdose on B's if I absolutely am feeling exhausted, and iron. Those are the 2 big ones for me. So with exhaustion. But greens, lots and lots of nutrient greens. That also will pick up that vital etheric life force. That is the next step. If you've already done the first 2 and you're still maybe not feeling the best, try and add that step into. Actually, I do all of these steps, and so I highly suggest you try them all. And then the 4th way I suggest, of course, I'm a practitioner and I've created the most amazing Iome healing remedies in the world. They have sustained me and my family and my clients for the last 15, 16 years, and I absolutely could not do anything without these Iome remedies. They have an amazing way to work on a mental, emotional, and physical level all at once. So I already have an energy kit. It's something I've created in my practice over the last 15 years, so thankfully I already have the combinations that I know work and work every single time. So once I've already implemented the first 3, then I absolutely will go and start taking my energy kit. And so I will put a link below that you can check it out. And again, in that kit, remember, you get a comprehensive ebook that goes through all kinds of great tools and suggestions, way more than what I've shared here today. But it's an amazing tool to always have on hand, because I don't know if you're anything like me and you like to overdo it in life, because hey, life's worth living, and living to the most extreme that we can and enjoying it. But sometimes I enjoy it a little too much and I get a little carried away and I do too much and I add too much to my plate. And when that happens, I definitely need the tools and the suggestions that I've recommended in this video today. So hopefully it has helped. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of my YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe, ring the bell, hang around. And next week, I'm going to talk about how do we truly know ourselves. And if you're struggling with knowing who you are and what you want to do in life, and you just feel like you're floundering around and I don't know, then stick around, because we're going to talk about that next week. So thank you very much. Have an amazing week. And remember, be authentic, be empowered, and own it completely.